Beautiful, innocent people being murdered and raped by illegal maniacs. Got here in this country illegally, staying in this country illegally. Have you noticed it's kind of become part of the white noise? I mean, it used to be like, oh my gosh, how could this happen? And now it's happening all the time. Laken Riley, we remember that name. Or is it fading from memory now? Murdered by an illegal alien. And it goes on and on. Rachel Moran in Maryland, they recently apprehended the suspect, a 13-year-old girl here in New York City, raped by an illegal maniac. Jocelyn Nungari, that happened in Houston, I believe. Scott Miller, did you hear about this? Here are the suspects. Here are the alleged perpetrators. These guys. Let's go through it. Where did they come from and how did they get here? Each one illegally from Venezuela, illegally from where? El Salvador, and on and on and on, just like this. Meanwhile, the Biden administration has the nerve to say that crime is a figment of our imagination, that it's actually not getting worse, it's getting better. None of this would be happening right now if Joe Biden were not president. Donald Trump did everything in his power to prevent this kind of stuff from happening. And he was so clear that it would happen if the trends continued. This is his promise in 2015.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
All right, this was the wall speech, and everybody was so offended by that comment, which is true, right? It's true, now more than ever. This is indisputable. So you heard what President Trump was trying to do as a candidate. We know what he did as a president. And Joe Biden. Joe Biden did everything in his power to make this happen because he wants it to happen.
What I would do as president is several more things, because things have changed. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
Surge the border. Surge the border. And they did, and they still are. You can't defend this. So Joe Biden right now is in hiding, literally. He's at Camp David trying to come up with a debate strategy that will somehow keep him alive politically. How can he defend that stuff? You can't. So they're huddled down right now in Camp David. He hasn't been seen in, I think, 72 hours. Been there, secluded in the Maryland woods. Who's he with, by the way? People I would call co-conspirators. Valerie, his sister. She's a real piece of work. Valerie was running Joe's campaigns all the way since 1972. Now, why would you have your sister, a neophyte in politics, run your campaigns? It's another way to pay family. She got paid, and she's also helping Hunter with all this crazy art stuff, okay? The other guy Joe is huddled with is Bob Bauer. Who's that? An evil guy. He's evil. I'm actually going to show you in a moment. He actually admits to being evil. He is Joe Biden's personal attorney.
Joining me now is the personal counsel to President Joe Biden, Bob Bauer.
And we're joined now by President Biden's personal attorney, Bob Bauer.
Joining me now, Bob Bauer, President Biden's personal attorney.
All right, the personal attorney is now huddled with Joe Biden. He's pretending he's Trump for the debate rehearsals. A couple of things about this guy you should know. He's described as an evil genius. And you know what? When they came out and called him an evil genius, he said, I was very proud of that. I thought that's cool. That's how he wants to be known. This is the New York Times, friendly newspaper, saying, for decades, Democrats have turned to him as their lawyer to wage battles against the opposition. Reverse a House race they seemingly lost, accuse the other side of criminal activity, go to court to cut off Republican money flows, find a legal justification for an ethically iffy strategy. Mr. Bauer was their man. Mr. Bauer's new book recounts experiences that look different to him now, But there was the time he helped House Democrats overturn Indiana's certification of a Republican candidate's victory and put a Democrat in office. Sounds like a threat to democracy to me, huh? Then there was the time he tried to get the Internal Revenue Service to intervene in elections by penalizing campaigns for negative advertising. And there were the times he accused a Republican House leader of racketeering and rival Democrats of criminal campaign violations. All right, so this is his go-to guy, and he was there for the Hur report. Remember the classified stuff found in the garage after they penalized and criminalized Donald Trump? They were in a real fix, so Bauer was the defense attorney, and they came up with an excuse after that Hur report came out. This was their excuse. Bob Bauer's the attorney. I assume he's the one who came up with it. What was it?
He was saying staff was clearly involved, responsible for the packing. We don't see presidents and vice presidents during transitions packing boxes. But he recognizes now when he looks back on it, maybe more involvement on his part was necessary because it didn't go the way he thought it should have gone.
And the media accepted that. All right. Staff packed the boxes. Joe Biden wouldn't pack boxes, right? And Joe Biden said the same thing. I didn't pack the boxes. It was staff. The secretary did it.
Do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me, but my staff.
All right, they're both lying. They are both 1,000% lying. They were lying then. Nobody read this damn report. You know, they somebody else summarized it for them. Moving day from the observatory, which is the vice president's residence, right? He moved out of there on January 7th of 2017. That was moving day, all right? He had to go to Virginia. From the Hur report, it says specifically that Mr. Biden stored classified materials at the Naval Observatory while vice president. Now watch this. On January 7, 2017, the Bidens moved furniture and personal belongings out of the Naval Observatory and into the Virginia home using a private moving company. The Bidens paid for the move themselves and packed their own belongings. Mr. Biden was personally involved in the move. One military aide recalled seeing him packing by himself and just him moving his stuff one at a time into the truck. The moving truck. Secret Service agents saw Mr. Biden moving boxes at the Virginia house during the weekend of his move into that house. He lied. That's what they do. And that's what they're coming up with right now at Camp David. How are we going to lie our way out of this one? Out of 3.5 disastrous years? They will lie, and they will have cover by the New York Times. And if the New York Times looks the other way, so does the entire fake news establishment. All right, but it's not up to them, right? It's up to the people, I still think. You know what I'm going to do this weekend? I'm watching the 2 debates from 2020 because I know Joe lied in that one. The 2 that come to mind, my son did not get money from, what is this, China. The only man who made money was him, this guy, right? He said that. And he also said the laptop was Russia disinformation. Those are the 2 I remember. I'll be watching these this weekend. All right, next. Joe Biden. Wow, what a great picture. Like for a postcard. White House tweeted this today. Talk about misinformation, disinformation. Look at the little catchy slogan. The best part of my job is showing up for the American people. Yeah, that's his reputation. He's always showing up, isn't he? Number one, he doesn't even go down those steps anymore. He can't handle those steps. You know that. I know that. And this is what it looks like when Joe comes down the mini steps. Ooh, 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 ooh. And by the way, looks like he's putting on weight. Sorry, but it's true. This is him on his way to Camp David for this, what the hell are we going to do here session with Bauer and his sister. And he goes off to the, it's just bad. It's bad. Hey, can I show you how he normally gets off the plane? That was a mini 737. Here's a 747. You see the steps. But he gets out through the hatch. And I don't think this has been highlighted enough. There's a little hatch on the side. And that's the way he gets on and off the plane. Because if he takes the big step, well, number one, he's going to be exhausted, right? And number two, he could fall. I mean, watch. Remember? This is something else that was basically covered up. And look at this infamous, I think, iconic photograph where he's grabbing the handle. Joe is falling all over the place, and it's sad. And I'm even hearing from Democrats, if he screws up the debate next week, it's it. That's it. He can't be the nominee, and they're going to find a way to remove him. Hey, what about what did he say in that tweet? Showing up. He's always showing up. The best part of my job is showing up. Another lie, a flat-out lie. He doesn't show up. What is he up to now? Not even 4 years as president, more than a year. Pushing a year and a half on vacation. It just... All right. Meanwhile, this is what a winning campaign looks like. Donald Trump, everywhere and anywhere. Where is he? One day, he's in the Bronx. All right? He goes to the hood, makes a speech, signs autograph. Then he goes to Detroit, Michigan, a black church, right in downtown, talking to people who may not, be inclined to vote for him, but hey, isn't that what a campaign is supposed to be about? Making your case, maybe listening to some people, going into the belly of the beast, CNN, the town hall with the miserable Caitlin Collins. And he's going on CNN again next week, sitting down with Dr. Phil, not for a 5-minute interview, but for 90 minutes. 90 minutes, sitting down with Greg Kelly. That guy, he really put him through the ringer. It was a beautiful conversation. Who else? The Nelk Boys. He does everything. He does everything. He is so ready. Who are the Nelk Boys? They're really cool. They got a lot of fans here. I'm not too familiar with their work, but I'm told they're great. How about that Logan Paul moment, huh? I mean, look, he is so versatile, and he can pivot, and that's what you got to do. He's at McDonald's. I mean, we can go on. He is living an American life, okay? Chick-fil-A and the rest, going to race car tracks, meeting with people from all walks of life. This is what it means to lead. This is what it looks like. And yeah, taking the lumps too. He's going from the UFC to court and then to jail for a half hour or so. And then he's hosting the president of Poland at Trump Tower. And then he's going to the bodega uptown. This is what winning looks like, okay? Not ensconced in the woods in Maryland. And then rally after rally after rally. He's everywhere, all right? Joe Biden, take note. You can't keep up with this. We know that. Everybody knows that. And that's one of the reasons why you're going to lose, it looks like to me. I mean, is there any comparison whatsoever? All right, next Thursday night, right? He's going to do it on CNN. I was mildly annoyed at that at first, but it's okay. We'll be right back.